Hello, Alex here, and in this video I want to talk about unboxing and assembling the Takumi Home Darkroom or TH Darkroom CPLift rotary processor for film and print development, and sort of open a dialogue about it. So let's get into it. Clearly this is just the included development tank. The unit itself is much too large to have here on my lap and hold up in front of my head. But the folks at Reflx Lab offered to send me a copy of this film processor in exchange for my review, and I am extremely grateful for that. But I will still try to give it the most fair, unbiased assessment as I can, and I've already picked up a couple of things that I would like to see changed in version 2, or things that I don't necessarily like, which I'll talk about in the full review, which will come later. First founded in 2019, TH Darkroom aren't a super new brand in the darkroom equipment space, but they're relatively unknown in the Western Hemisphere. The general gist of the CPLift, and I will talk about this much more in another video, is that it's a semi-automatic rotary film and print development processor, taking 35mm, 120 and 220 roll films, of course, and 110 and whatever else you get a reel for, up to 11 by 14 inch sheet film and 16 by 20 inch prints in any Jobo 1500 series tank or a 2500 series tank up to a 2550. It's not compatible with the 2580 or the 3000 series expert drums. It has a heated water bath to obtain and maintain temperature for your development chemicals and the tank before and during processing, as well as a water pump, so it's able to use less water than some other processors. The rotary unit using the geared lids to actually rotate and get very even development. And obviously it has the lift, part of the name, that enables more consistent filling and draining, giving you more even development, particularly with very large films like prints or very large sheets, or with very short development times. It's available as two SKUs. The basic kit, available from both Reflx Lab and then Cat Labs in the US, or the all-in-one kit that I have here, which will be available from Reflx Lab sometime in the near future, which includes much more stuff, as you'll see, and is much more comprehensive and kind of ready to go. I'd planned to do one large video about this, but there was just so much included in this all-in-one version of the product that when I was unboxing it, it was just too much footage, and I do want to go through it, so I decided to use this opportunity to make a separate video talking about going through what's in the box, at least for the all-in-one version compared to the basic version, and then assemble the unit, get it ready to go, and open a dialogue, because I'm not an expert on Jobo rotary processing. I've used a CPP2 and a CPE2 a couple of times. I have the algo processor that I spoke about last year, but I'm not like a hardcore Jobo person, as much as rotary processing is very interesting and very powerful as a tool. So I might not necessarily know everything that my audience would like me to have a look at, and this is basically me asking you to let me know. At the time of recording, the English language documentation isn't actually finished translation, so the included stuff in the box was all Chinese for me, so there are some things that weren't completely obvious or things I just got wrong because I was just unboxing this, my first time seeing it, so I'll cut back up here wherever I need to clarify or correct something.
This thing is packaged really well.
I already opened this, but the first thing is a changing bag. They call it the large size. I don't think it's massive. The one I normally use is larger, but for roll films and the like, this would be no problem at all. It's not overly heavy, first impression, which is a good thing because it means it's not going to flop down on your hands too much all the time. Next is a binder for storing the negatives that you develop with the thing. And inside there should be a stack of 35mm neg sleeves. These should be 1, 2, 3, 4. These should be 7x6s, which is exactly what I need for my X-Pan. In the next bags, 2 sets of clips for 135 and 120 film to hang them to dry. Simple enough. As well as a pair of gloves for handling your film. I'm guessing this is just a springy stirring rod kind of deal. And oh yes, a leader retriever. You can never have too many leader retrievers. Every time I buy another one, my old one seems to break. And then here, various bits and pieces, mostly parts of the machine rather than accessories to go around it. A 1.5 meter hose for drainage, a digital temperature probe. The actual probe is there in the bag. We'll come back to that. The actual handle for the lift itself, it looks and feels, that's metal and carbon fiber wrap on metal. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot better than the one that's shown in the promotional images. The 3D printed handle is part of the basic kit, and you get both that and the larger handle with the metal knob when you buy the all-in-one kit. A simple electronic timer for timing your processes. I don't know how much I'll use this because I use the, I can't think of the name right now, the color film equivalent of the Massive Dev Chart app. This app is called Lab Timer, and I absolutely swear by it. It's legitimately fantastic. Syringe for measuring out chems, sure. An instruction manual, but it is only in Chinese, so I personally can't read it. I'll have to ask if there's an English copy available. I'm sure I can deduce the majority of it though. Again, not yet available in English, but it's very heavily annotated with lots of graphics and color coding, which is nice, so I was able to mostly get by. This is a processing chart. Dev bleach, DDX, D67, E6ECN2. Okay, so it's just process workflow instructions for various processes, both color, negative and reversal, and black and white. But I can't read this again, being a Westerner who only speaks Western languages. A set of Allen keys, not necessarily given you would have these, so nice to include them. Then this looks like it's the funnel for actually pouring your chems into the tank. Not 100% sure, it's 3D printed. Mostly, I mean, yeah, there's no flex. Oh, there's no flex in that. But the printing quality on the inside of the funnel isn't exactly perfect. This is a funnel, but for drainage, not filling, and you'll see me install that to the unit later on. And the other thing in the box is the original 3D printed handle. I will definitely be using this one because I think the funny red ball is funny, but also just the metal build quality is going to be better. And then a bunch of stickers to sticker bomb your folders, your bottles, the unit itself, everything from cameras and films to safety stickers. I love me some safety stickers, as well as labeling the different chems for your different processes, which I think is very nice. I have my own little system for that, but being able to label them as your water bottles, your ECN2 bleach or stop, for example, is something that's very handy. And I'm presuming these are decently waterproof stickers. I will test that, even though I wouldn't normally use these myself, is a little bit of extra thought that I think is quite impressive. Okay, we're getting there. The tank itself is equivalent to a Jobo 1500 series tank. This would be, I guess, a 1510 and whatever the extension is. I'm not too familiar with the Jobo system yet. I just know this is definitely a 1500 series tank with an extension. In this configuration, the tank is effectively a 1530 series, taking 330 milliliters of solution to develop your film. You got the standard inversion lid, and if I pop this off, bear with me. We've got 3 reels inside, but I believe the center spool is a different diameter, so you wouldn't be able to use Patterson reels with this, I believe. I'll double check that. Yeah, they do look kind of similar at first, but I checked, and there are enough differences in the outer and inner spool diameters that they aren't cross-compatible. With the base, and you can, of course, this being a Jobo system, if you had a smaller thing, oh yes, you got an extension for the actual center column, so you could just use it in a smaller capacity for, say, 1 reel of 120, or 2 reels of 35, so that's very nice. That's one of the things that's really nice about the Jobo system, is just how modular it is. But this is a rotary processor, so you're going to be using it on its side. So this standard lid for inversion processing, where you would fill the tank and use it like you would any regular Patterson tank, is no good to you. What you need is the insert to make this a cog lid. Now you can, as I understand it, buy dedicated lids with the cog built in for these processors. This doesn't use the magnetic base like some Jobo processors do. So instead of forcing you to only use this rotary by giving you the cog lid, they give you an insert for it, which is very, very nice. Yeah, so in here you have the cog lid insert, which will just press fit into the inversion lid. Apparently, from what I've read, this isn't as ideal a long-term solution because you're introducing another point of leakage, as well as just it could fall off in theory. So long-term, if you want to really commit to rotary processing, the dedicated cog lids are the way to go. But there's no reason that you can't just go ahead and take an inversion lid, nicely fitting. Okay, once you have the cog lid, or a cog lid adapter, I guess, installed, you would use this to engage the motor to actually rotate the tank, which is nice, but you're not specifically stuck using this as a rotary tank in that case, because there is a lid included and you can use it as a nice little inversion tank. That isn't necessarily a massive benefit depending on how you're going to be using this thing, but for me, having more tanks that I can use for inversion is always very, very welcome. Okay, so the unit itself, with the obvious caveats that I haven't used the unit yet, obviously I haven't even finished assembling it. Let's have a quick look at what we've got here. There are 4 chemical storage bottles included, and there is a rack in here holding them in place. And one of the bottles comes with a lid screwed on that has a built-in digital thermometer. So you can keep an eye on the direct chemical temperature within the tank or the individual containers, rather than worrying about just the water bath temperature, which is monitored with the control unit up here. Up here, there's the power supply connector. There's a reset button and a test button here. So I need to look at that. The cable is about, how long? 1.2, 1.5 meters, something like that. I'll measure that and put that number on screen. And of course, I requested it with a UK Irish plug, but it's available with all sorts of different connectors depending on what part of the world you're in. So I've already taken the cog lid off to put it away, but it would sit just like, you'd clip it in there and it would sit nicely on those rails, which would rotate it back and forth. Rotation is controlled also with this panel over here. You have a low speed option as well as an RPM selector switch. I'm not sure yet what the third option is. It says 50 or 75. I'll probably do 50, but there are 3 options here. And then there's an option for the pump. Now I see, a water outlet up here. So I'm presuming under here there's a pump to circulate the water properly, including the 2-tiered system. That's something I didn't really appreciate before, is that this, obviously the main unit, the base here, is a water bath, but up here where the rollers go is a separate inserted tray, so it looks like there's water flowing up and down. But anyway, I'm probably looking at this in too much detail for a first look kind of thing. You would install the handle at some point, and then when you're finished your processing, pull everything back for drainage. That feels nice enough to me. I see no problems there. There's extensive use of 3D printing here, but the vast majority of it is very high quality. There are some parts, like that one's actually much better, inside that other funnel thing, which is obviously not the funnel for filling the unit, I realize now. The rollers and everything, there's a lot of 3D printing going on here, but it's very, very high quality. I am not against the use of 3D printing whatsoever. I know a lot of people are, fair enough. I don't agree with them. What else is going on here that's worth mentioning straight away? We've got the chemical storage bottles, your control unit. Yeah, the display itself. Yeah, so when the unit is turned on, you'll be able to set your desired temperature, set your target, and the buttons, I don't know what options exactly are available just yet, but the buttons are very clicky, which is quite nice because I don't like having reduced sensation and lack of tactile feedback when I'm using gloves, so it's nice to be able to just hear as well. Tactility matters with that kind of thing. I think that's it. Other than actually loading up the reels and the tank in whichever configuration you want to use, there isn't actually a lot to talk about before you can get up and running. Here we have the rollers. These are for 2500 series and 1500 series tanks. So you would just remove these ones entirely on the inside if you're using, a 2500 series tank to have the broader wheelbase, for lack of a better word, if that makes sense. And then if you're using a 1500 series, the smaller tank, you would just pop these in there. So just for a moment, I will insert those. I just had a look at the manual and I was able to figure out quite a few things like I thought, and I used OCR to figure out the rest, and this is actually a pretty nice machine. The first thing is going to be attaching the handle of your choice onto this part up here so you can actually lift the rollers up. I'm going to use the larger metal handle with the red knob, like I said, because I think it's funny. And to install it, you're going to use 3 screws in these holes, which are provided, of course, using one of the Allen keys from the included set. When installing these, just make sure they're decently tight but not over tightened. You want to make sure it's secure without stripping anything. Next is this second funnel looking doodad. It goes under this hole here and acts as a stand, but also, as you'll see shortly, so we're going to install this with the vertical side facing the back of the unit. So that, for example, once you use whatever chemical this is, you can slide the bottle in under there while you're developing, so that when you drain, it drains directly back into the same bottle, meaning you don't have to worry about intermediary containers and cross-contamination and the like. Of course, you don't have to use the empty bottle under the stand down here to collect your chemicals. If you want, say if you're doing large volume black and white processing, you can just dispense directly into the drain using the included hose. If you choose to use it, once the hose is attached on the underside of the funnel here, I haven't pushed it up too far, it can definitely go on a bit further. There's an included ring clamp to make sure it doesn't come loose at all, so it's super secure, and then you would just set the hose itself down into the drain to make sure the chemicals are disposed of nice and cleanly. That would be for one-shot processing of potentially ECN2, but mostly black and white developers and the like. So that's a quick first look, and the basic kit is definitely more intended for people who are very established on the equipment side, but even I, who develops a lot of film and it has, a number of tanks and reels and accessories and everything, I still appreciate things like the extra pack of sleeves, the extra binder, and the spare changing bag that come in the all-in-one kit. And to be honest, even just getting the 50 and 30 equivalent tank is a very nice addition, because Jobo series tanks are not cheap. So putting the whole thing together was very straightforward, and I've developed 8 rolls of black and white across a few different processes so far, with long and short dev times, with excellent results. I've had 0 problems with uneven development, streaking, or anything like that. The only thing I need to work on is a washing regimen for films with a very stubborn anti-halation layer, but I can work that out, or just ask Gregory or someone. I'll be doing a big batch of C41 next weekend, shortly after this video goes live, when I have a friend over and we're going to learn black and white. Well, she's going to learn black and white and C41 film development with me as her teacher, using both this and the regular inversion processing using a Patterson tank. But yeah, the main thing here is to showcase all the stuff you get in the box, and also again to open that dialogue between us. So Jobo experts, please let me know if there's something I specifically should try or look at that you would like to know. Again, I don't have like a CPP2 or a CPE3 to compare to. I have a TBE2 on the floor down here, but that's basically a glorified sous vide. So I'll do my best, but let me know. For now though, that's all I have to say in this video, so stay safe, and bye bye for now. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram at Shaka1277 for new pictures every day. If you liked this video and enjoy what I do on the channel, please consider subscribing or checking out my Patreon, where the tiers start at just €1 per month.